A calm late afternoon, suburban street, lined with houses, decorated with Halloween cobwebs, jack-o'-lanterns, ghosts hanging from trees. The sky is tinged with early twilight hues, casting long shadows. The air was alive with the sweet scent of pumpkins, and children are getting ready for trick-or-treats. That October, they discovered a vintage scarecrow at a yard sale. Its hollow eyes seemed to stare into the souls of those nearby. The jagged grin stretched wide as if caught mid-scream. Even in the daylight, the drive home with the scarecrow was unsettling. As it lay in the back seat, its head seemed to shift with each turn, its empty eyes fixated on the family. Despite their unease, the Joneses positioned the scarecrow at the yard center, anchoring their Halloween display. But as they arranged the decorations, they felt its empty eyes watching, its grin seeming to grow wider with each passing out. That night, as darkness fell, an eerie atmosphere settled over the neighborhood. The wind carried distant whispers, almost like faint laughter, drifting through the chilly air. The family's dog, Max, refused to go near the scarecrow, growling low in his throat. His fur bristled as he circled the yard, barking furiously toward the scarecrow as if warning of a hidden danger. As the night wore on, a thick fog crept into the neighborhood, blanketing everything. Shadows lengthened, and the scarecrow's figure appeared to grow taller, towering ominously in the yard. Braving the fog, a few children approached the Jones yard, giggling nervously as they eyed the scarecrow. But as they reached for candy, the scarecrow seemed to lean forward, making one child scream and stumble back. Near midnight, a group of teenagers decided to approach, daring each other to take a selfie with the scarecrow. But as Jake lifted his phone, the scarecrow's head turned toward him, its hollow gaze piercing. Suddenly, the scarecrow's hand shot out, gripping Jake's arm. The teens screamed, stumbling back in terror, as Jake frantically broke free, running for his life. They bolted down the street, adrenaline driving them, but as they glanced back, they could still see the scarecrow's hollow eyes. Back in the Joneses' yard, Sarah noticed that the candy bowl was empty, far too soon for the few visitors they had. Confused, she felt a cold chill as she realized something wasn't right. Come morning, Sarah found strange footprints leading from the scarecrow into the thick woods at the edge of their property. The tracks were large, muddy, and disturbingly human-like. Over the next week, Sarah felt an uncanny presence watching her from outside. Shadows seemed to gather near the window at night, and faint rustling echoed through the quiet yard. Each Halloween afterward, on their doorstep, a single crumpled piece of candy appeared, as though left by an unseen visitor. With it came faint, echoing laughter, sending chills down their spines. Determined to face her fear, Sarah stepped into the yard one Halloween night. As she moved closer, the scarecrow appeared at the edge of her property, raising one bony finger pointing directly at her. The next morning, the Jones family packed up their things, moving far away, but as they drove off, they didn't notice the scarecrow standing on the roadside, watching as if silently bidding them farewell.